Hello and welcome to Africa Weekly News Roundup podcast for 21st to 27th of July 2024. Coming up, Nigerian courts convicted 125 Boko Haram militants and financiers of terrorism-related offences. Police in Uganda arrested 104 people during anti-corruption protests this week, charging nearly all with public order offences, prompting criticism from rights groups and the US Embassy. Mali's northern Tuareg rebels reported killing and injuring dozens of soldiers and Wagner mercenaries in 2 days of fighting near the Algerian border. The death toll from landslides in Ethiopia's Gopher zone has risen to 257 and is expected to nearly double, potentially reaching up to 500, according to the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, UNOCHA. This and more coming up shortly. In a recent escalation of violence in Sudan's civil war, the pro-democracy group Al-Fasher Resistance Committees reported that Sudan's Rapid Support Forces, RSF, killed at least 22 people in an attack on the city of Al-Fasher in Darfur. The group claimed that the RSF fired artillery shells on markets, hospitals and apartments, and used a drone to target a hospital, resulting in 97 casualties. The RSF denied these allegations, stating they did not clash with the army or allied groups. This attack highlights the severe humanitarian crisis in Sudan, with over 300,000 people displaced from Al-Fasher since April, according to the United Nations. Police in Uganda arrested 104 people during anti-corruption protests this week, charging nearly all with public order offences, prompting criticism from rights groups and the US Embassy. The protests, inspired by youth-led movements in Kenya, saw young Ugandans demonstrating against alleged government graft. President Museveni's government responded by deploying police and soldiers in Kampala, detaining protesters. Amnesty International condemned the government's heavy-handed tactics and called for the immediate release of those arrested for peacefully demonstrating. Nigerian courts convicted 125 Boko Haram militants and financiers of terrorism-related offences, including terrorism financing and support for international criminal activities. This marks a continuation of efforts to address the Boko Haram insurgency, which has caused thousands of deaths and displaced millions since 2009, creating a severe humanitarian crisis in northeastern Nigeria. The previous mass trials from 2017 to 2018 saw 163 convictions and 887 acquittals. Many of those convicted in earlier trials have been moved to rehabilitation centres for reintegration. The notorious group gained international attention with the 2014 Chibok schoolgirl kidnapping, sparking the global Bring Back Our Girls campaign. Mali's northern Tuareg rebels reported killing and injuring dozens of soldiers and Wagner mercenaries in 2 days of fighting near the Algerian border, claiming to have seized armoured vehicles and other equipment. The Malian army confirmed losing 2 soldiers and 10 injured, also noting a helicopter crash in Kidal. The Tuareg-led Permanent Strategic Framework for Peace, Security and Development, CSP-PSD, stated they damaged a helicopter during the clashes. The Tuareg, feeling marginalised, launched an insurgency in 2012, which was later hijacked by Islamist groups. Although they signed a peace agreement in 2015, CSP-PSD withdrew from talks in 2022. Kenyan police detained several people, including prominent activist Boniface Mwangi, on Thursday, as they attempted to present a petition to the president's office and lay flowers in honour of those killed a month ago during the most violent day of anti-government protests. Protesters, carrying white crosses and chanting peacefully, sought justice for the over 50 people killed since mid-June, when demonstrations began against proposed tax increases by President William Ruto. The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights reported nearly 700 arbitrary detentions and 59 abductions or missing persons linked to the protests. The death toll from landslides in Ethiopia's Gopher Zone has risen to 257 and is expected to nearly double, potentially reaching up to 500, according to the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, UNOCHA. Heavy rains triggered the initial landslide on Sunday night, followed by a second one on Monday that buried rescuers. Ethiopia's National Disaster Risk Management Commission had previously reported 229 deaths. Rescuers have recovered 226 bodies, with 20 more still missing, but ongoing heavy rains have made it too dangerous to approach the site. South African police have detained 95 Libyan nationals for questioning after raiding a suspected military training camp at a farm in White River, Mpumalanga province. The Libyans, who claimed to be on study visas for security training, were found at what appeared to be a military base with green tents and sandbags. Authorities, who began the operation 2 days ago, are investigating potential criminal activity, while the Tripoli-based Libyan government has denied any connection to the group. Despite the ongoing investigation, police assured there is no immediate threat to community safety. A boat carrying at least 45 people capsized off the coast of Yemen, with only 4 survivors found, according to the UNHCR. The incident, attributed to strong winds and overloading, occurred near the Thai's governorate. The UNHCR and IOM are assisting survivors. The Yemen Horn of Africa route is notoriously perilous, with thousands of migrants and refugees attempting the journey despite frequent fatalities. This year, 73,000 migrants arrived in Yemen, with the IOM recording 1,960 deaths and disappearances on the route since 2014. In a similar incident in June, 49 people died and 140 went missing off Yemen's Shabwa coast. That was what we had time for you in this edition of the Weekly News Roundup here on Africa Digital Library. We wish you a blessed week ahead.